As a former Surgeon General once said, if gun violence is not a public health issue, why is it killing so many people? Gun violence kills about 40,000 people a year and injures 3 to 4 times that amount of the population. It's an issue that reverberates throughout a community when somebody dies or there's a mass shooting. But in fact, most gun deaths, most of the 40,000 gun deaths each year in this country happen in and around the home. They're private tragedies, and they are mostly firearm suicides and firearm homicides. Since 2016, my group has been working on the question of what happens to a family's risks when a gun comes into the home, and thinking about the relationship between access to guns and risks, primarily of suicide, homicide, and accidents. Our most recent studies have looked at the question of guns as a secondhand risk. So we're not thinking about the person who brought the gun into the house, the gun owner, but the person who lives with the gun owner but doesn't themselves own a gun. Most of the people that fit that profile are women, and there are about 20 million people in the United States that are in that situation. Again, they don't own a gun, but they live with someone who does. What are the risks and benefits that they face? What we found was that their risks of suicide jump by about 50%. Their risks of homicide jump by about threefold, and their risks of being killed with a gun by a domestic partner increase about sevenfold. So these are risks that we've never really fully understood before. In every respect, it's a public health issue and one that we need to study. It's also a public health issue because, unlike many believe, it is a preventable form of death. To take firearm suicides, for example, there is a widespread misperception that these are unpreventable and that if people don't have access to guns at a time of mental instability, they will find another way to end their lives. This is just not true. Most people who attempt suicide and survive do not go on to die by suicide. What matters at the time of a crisis event like that is what means are available and how lethal those means are. We know more about the risks of bringing a lawnmower or a trampoline into the home than we do about firearms, which is strange considering there are 300 million plus guns in the United States. However, we do hope that our research impacts policymakers and courts as they consider these difficult questions of gun safety and gun rights.